Hello everyone and welcome back. It's the Smite Pro League and it's the final week before Super Regionals.
We have a few games today that are leading up to a rather dramatic story. Denial as the headliner today, fighting into Team Solo Mid, what must win 2 games and still hope for Cognitive to lose both for them to have a chance to go to LAN.
First up, though, we're going to be having JusTus versus London Conspiracy. JusTus already secured that 8th seed, so they're not going to have a chance to move up at all. London Conspiracy, regardless of this outcome, they're actually going to be in the same bracket,
right?
Up at the top
4-5.
in Super Regional. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what happens in this first game.
But they do want at least one win, and a lot of these matchups, realistically, are going to be about experimenting, testing the waters, either with new gods, Zeus now being allowed into the Smite Pro League, as well as the Super Regionals.
I hate his guts.
He's so annoying.
I don't think he's very good.
It's interesting, though. He has a lot of damage. We'll have to see, though. JusTus on your screen. Fexez in the mid lane. VoteNBK combining with Qiwen for the duo. Zephyr will be out once again. However, that is going to be Covertactician playing solo.
As always. JusTus have had a hard time, despite the fact that Fexez and Qiwen are generally seen as superstars. The rest of the squad has still a ways to go to be able to compete with the big boys.
I think it's a mix, right? It's a little bit of synergy. It's a little bit of players not being at the level they need to. This is kind of expected from them. This was actually, most of this roster was actually the Challenger Cup team that didn't even make it. Slowly, though, they replaced the old upcoming Stars roster, and they now have basically what was the Challengers team, plus Qiwen.
Speaking of Challengers squads and players with a lot of, I guess, rotations in and out of the starting roster, we're going to take a look at London Conspiracy. Their opponents today.
In the mid lane, Aero, Emilzy, Shaggy combining for the duo, Zashu in the solo, and the now official starter, Cherryo, in the jungle, replacing Soggy Sandal. I think these players, skill-wise, have actually been quite equal, although I would say we've seen a much deeper god pull from Cherryo.
See, it's still surprising to me because the big wins they had, I looked a lot to Soggy for those wins. Perhaps the lows were too low, but I mean, of the highs, he generally, to me, had the highest. For me, this squad has been a little bit weaker than I expected because Shaggyshenk.
I agree. Shaggyshenk really one of the star players that you think would kind of carry them in a lot of these matches, or like be that guy to where when they're losing, he can go off big. We haven't really seen it from him. He hasn't necessarily played bad, but we haven't seen the big games from Shaggyshenk that we have come to expect, I would say.
Going into this LAN, London should secure a 2-0 here. They need to go in as high morale and just as strongly as they possibly can.
We're going to take a quick look at the Alpha Draft top performers. Most likely adapting, sitting at number 1. He hasn't even given it up. Is anyone even close? I don't think there's any way for Yaman to catch him.
Actually, it's just all of Epsilon aside from Cyclone Spin, who has replaced Dimmy.
Yeah, Dream Team.
This is actually the new team that's going to be happening in Season 3, right?
It's coming? Is Cyclone moving to Europe, or are the rest of them moving to North America? It's got to be one or the other. But you guys can sign up for Alpha Draft and get your picks in. alphadraft.com, your chance to win real money with your own esports knowledge. Esports knowledge, though, going into this JusTus versus London Conspiracy matchup, I know you already said it, this is London Conspiracy's game to lose. They need to head into this and really just be looking for some wins with a slight hint of experimentation. I really want to see Zeus.
For me,
I really want to see Zeus.
If London loses a game here to the 8th seed, they're going to go into LAN with that weighing on their shoulders. It's going to affect them. They need to do a clean 2-0, 50-minute total game time over 2 games.
Picks and bans. JusTus going to be playing the order side. Have that first pick, banning away Cirquette. Still a god that we have been seeing banned quite often.
Well, I mean, she's incredible, right? She does ridiculous amounts of damage. She's super safe. She's impossible to kill. Second ban phase, London Conspiracy going to take away Janice. No surprise there.
More than likely, we're looking at Khepri, Hell, and Sun Wukong. Really, it's going to be which of those two are banned and which one is going to be first picked. Unless JusTus is looking to play some different type of strategy. We know a lot of teams like to center their team comps around like a Thor jungle, which does get first picked over some of those priority picks occasionally.
Hell getting banned away spells that JusTus does want some Wukong. London Conspiracy probably going to ban that one away.
You could also leave Sun Wukong and Khepri up. I think that's something that London Conspiracy could look into.
I would much rather have Wukong.
Freya going to be banned up, so Khepri and Sun Wukong are available. Taking the Freya away from Shaggyshenk there, more than likely. Wukong up, Khepri up. Brandon calling Wukong here?
Yeah, I think this should be the Wukong call. It's the safest call. He doesn't lose matchups aside from Hell. Like, he does a ridiculous amount of damage in the end game, almost as much or far more than most warriors. But wow, we're going to see
Zeus is up too. This is actually, I really like this from London Conspiracy here. I do expect them to go Wukong Khepri, but I really think that a lot of this is about them trying to see how to play around Zeus, right? And while it's not a high-level team they're facing, they're at least going to have some form of strategy going into the Super Regionals around
I feel like people don't realize that he's just Anubis.
He can die, but he does more damage.
He doesn't do more damage than Anubis. Anubis does more damage.
In AoE form, though.
And sure, yeah, you can hit more targets, you control a little bit more space, but his objective control isn't as good. Because while, yes, he can detonate for the kill, Anubis still has that death beam, which can burn it down faster than the other team can rotate. This character, to me, is just Anubis, and I'm expecting that London Conspiracy is going to run over it.
Their picks are coming in here. Who are they going to elect to go? It is going to be Sun Wukong, and will it be the Khepri as well that we typically see? No, it's going to be Ho Yi. Okay. So that makes a little bit more sense.
Still my top pick for the Hunter role. I mean, the character does ridiculous amounts of damage, incredibly safe. We're going to see a Thor picked up for a little bit of safety. Tectonic Rift, Anvil of Dawn stuns, making sure that Zeus can't get rushed down as much. I still think Nua is the best call here for London Conspiracy. Having that global ultimate on top of the fact that she's super safe against Zeus, no issue.
Neith going to be locked in for the Hunter role on JusTus, so they're going a pretty early game comp. A lot of it's probably going to rely around protecting Zeus.
Right, this is the Cloud9 roster so far. It's the Thor, the Neith, and then, we're probably going to see the Athena, to try to get Zeus to get to endgame. Bastet going to be locked in for the jungle. I did not expect that.
That more than likely going to be looking to counter the Zeus out, chase him down here. But realistically, you're kind of just laying out targets for Zeus to chain lightning off of.
Right, but it's 3.
That's true.
It's only going to give you 1, so it's not that big of a deal. Ban phase, we're going to see Geb taken away.
I like the Geb ban.
Yeah, Geb ban's smart. I still think it's going to be Athena, though.
Athena banned out actually by JusTus, so that's not what they're looking for. Khepri's still available here. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen him. But,
Well, Khepri Bastet is not wonderful.
It's just really the combo.
Right, I mean, you can, I saved Bastet, and, Bastet's like, I'm alive again, and I have 25% health. Right, I'm going to leave anyway.
Bacchus locked in for London Conspiracy, maybe looking to dive that Zeus as much as they can. JusTus, final 2 picks coming through. What will they elect to go? The 2, key supports banned away here in Athena.
Ares. Not what I expected at all.
And it's going to be Ares, okay.
That was probably the last thing that I expected for support.
A lot of what I'm seeing from Zeus is it kind of works like a damage hell, where it's like you have to all in here.
Oh, wait.
Your team likes to draft stuff to protect. Xing solo.
Xing solo, probably. Ares could be subbed into that solo if London Conspiracy picks something that's very movement heavy.
I mean, that's going to be a Wukong solo.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Wukong is most likely going to go. It's going to be Isis for the mid.
Isis locked in here. So a good amount of pressure coming out from this mid-jungle duo on both sides, right? A lot of them have a lot of kill potential. I'd say Bastet, not so much until level 5, but Isis will keep that lane pushed over the Zeus as long as the Thor isn't really rotating too early and putting that pressure back.
One thing that I was very surprised to split, and I was trying to avoid the commentary of this because I feel like I didn't want to add to this in any way, but it's very surprising that it's taken players this long to realize that you just put Magical against Wukong. Because he can't build Mystical Mail against Magicals or he dies.
He can unless he's really far ahead.
Yeah, if he's really far ahead, you can build whatever
we have seen that occasionally.
You can build whatever you want.
Meerkat used that actually against, I believe, Unrelinquished in the Soul Lane when they faced off against Elevate. He got an early kill.
Right,
and
that doesn't count.
Yeah, he was just really far ahead.
That doesn't count. But now that he can't build Mystical Mail, he's not going to have that insane level of damage going into the 13 or 14 minute mark. This should give Xing the lane if he can properly use his passive to keep his health topped off at all times.
About to get into game here. JusTus rocking the order side. They're 8th seed in the Smite Pro League, but they're looking for at least some wins at the end here, maybe give themselves a little bit of resurgence before the end of the year. London Conspiracy here. They're going to land. They're already qualified. They're not moving their spot in the bracket, even though their seeding can change. Really need 2 big wins here. Looking to, I'd say, give them some motivation heading into the Super Regionals because they are going to need a lot of it, having to face off against teams like Epsilon, Fnatic, and Paradigm.
London Conspiracy have had a rough season. They started off so
surprising.
strong.
I almost feel like the biggest problem for them has been the rise of Epsilon. It's just another contender that they have not been able to compete against, it seems.
Epsilon seems to me in Europe to be uncontested. I don't think there's any team right now that could safely go into a game and I would bet money on them even with like 3 or 4 to 1 odds. Like I wouldn't do it.
I agree. Like, it's going to be very hard for any team to compete against them in a best of 5, right? Taking a single game, that's in the realm of possibility. Fnatic was able to do it. But outside of that, there hasn't been any team close to winning a game. How are teams going to win 3 against them? London Conspiracy, they're on that side of the bracket. It's going to be rough for them.
Yeah, that's true. They're guaranteed 4th or 5th seed, right? 4th or 5th seed going to fight.
Actually, no. I believe they actually need 1 win here. I lied, because what's also going to happen? Titan, or excuse me, Dignitas, if they 2-0.
Oh, that's true.
They can tie it and then force the tiebreaker.
Tomorrow we have Dignitas versus Myrmidons, right?
Yes.
And Myrmidons, if they win both games, go to LAN.
Yes.
So I'm really hoping, and I don't try to choose sides, I'm really hoping Mimi wins game 1. That way, game 2, it's all or nothing.
That's just the hype. Just the hype. You can't get over it. It's always got to come down to 1 game. Something has to come down to 1 game. We're in a game, though, for now. JusTus rocking the order side here. Zeus, I'm looking at Fexez in this game. I really want to see how useful he's going to be.
I'm still very surprised that we're seeing this Zeus being played. I'm wondering if he could hold this down.
So looking at VoteNBK and Qiwen here, they should have a little bit of kill potential, but they're matching up against Emilzy and Shaggyshenk. And, you know, Hou-Yi, you talked about it earlier, the burst potential from Hou-Yi, if you just get a double hit, a double bounce, you can almost half-life the enemy AD carry at level 1.
It's true, and not to mention he has one of the farthest shots in the game if you can aim it correctly off of certain parts of the geometry. Also, they're guaranteed you. This is one thing that Zeus does well, and that's make sure that the detonate will kill, but he actually didn't have detonate there. He had shield and chain lightning. Bastet probably should have went for that steal. She would have had it.
Shield probably the best clear right now for Zeus early. And effectively, the shield is doubling the chain lightning range, which I think is the most important thing about new Zeus.
That is the one thing that has really changed, or one of the 2 things that have changed positively. The second being, and the most important in my opinion, is the fact that he can now move when he casts his ultimate, which I think is like one of the most incredible parts of it. But for me, that shield removes all form of defense that he has, unless he gets like a really sick chain lightning. With that, I'm expecting a character like Bastet with multiple jumps to not be affected too hard by the chain.
So far, it's really this Zeus and Thor combo that have controlled the mid lane. Not something you typically see against Denysis. Aero and Cherryo struggling a little bit, although Bastet really not the strongest character until level 5. That's when she becomes able to fight effectively.
It's about 2 minutes in. Zeus showing no signs of trying to rush forward. Both mids level 4. Now, Fexez, you know, if there were to be a star player in this team, it would be Fexez to me, right? I mean, oh wait. That was gorgeous. A little late on the auto attack cancel, but that should be first blood.
Wow,
yes,
first blood.
Fexez is going to get it.
I mean, that was not Zeus in any way, shape, or form. That was all Sanjo.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The outplay, the perfect double tap into the perfect teleport, the timing on it, hitting that Berserker's Barrage, doing so much damage, and Fexez was kind of just there to steal the kill.
The big part of that really was not the teleport, was not the 1, it was the 2, it was the stun. Because he stunned right as that Spirit Ball was going to hit him. So he stops the cast entirely, gets rid of a big part of her kit, you know, especially on the defensive route, and was able to get off a sick amount of damage. He cleared the wave while doing it as well, which gave Zeus the opportunity to move forward and find that big hit.
First blood to JusTus, going to Fexez, that Zeus. Not someone you want to see an early kill on for now, though. The dual lane from JusTus also pushed up here against Emilzy and Shaggyshenk. Covertactician, the only one that's kind of on the defensive end. Understandable, though, matching up against a very lane-dominating Wukong.
Looking at Qiwen here. I think Ares is a good choice against the Hou-Yi. Again, you know, in the late game, protecting the Zeus might be a little difficult. You'll note there's not a ton of protection in the end game. Xing can help as well, but he has to put himself in harm's way. Their support, who's going to be building into all those tanky items, he's going to have to be very adamant about protecting this Zeus as well as he can, because if he doesn't, Xing's not going to have the damage to carry the game.
Oh, look at this. Qiwen, level 5, Blink online. He's looking to kill either Aero or Cherryo. However, Aero has beads. He recognized that. He's looking for Cherryo there. There's the pool. Fexez and Sanjo, they're in the waiting, and that's Cherryo's just gone.
Yeah, there's no way for him to get out of that one. I love the fact that he waited until the creeps were in there as well, so he didn't take the damage from the tower. I mean, this is what Qiwen does, right? The Qiwen is known as an Ares main, and I don't like using that word, but this is his character.
Much like a Kanye life, a player, you know, Ares is just so skill dependent, right? If you miss your chains, you are essentially useless in a team fight.
Oh, almost completely.
It's Ares main, I think, is kind of the perfect word for it.
I think I heard Thor go up.
In the mid lane, he's looking for it, but Aero, I think he recognizes as well. Actually diving super deep, but Sanjo not going to be able to find that one. Aero smartly recognizes it, although his beads were forced, it seems, in that last engagement.
Cherryo,
so
walk away from that. That's not for you. Bacchus might be able to get these, actually. Left side should go to red here.
I'm a little bit surprised. Look at the rest of JusTus. They're kind of just leaving Qiwen alone. Now they rotated, but into a bad spot. Fexez one more hit, and he should fall. Emilzy looking for the kill. Swinging that meat stick around. Emilzy picks up Fexez, and that was just a pretty big misplay from JusTus there. You can see Qiwen, or miscommunication at the very least. Qiwen wanted to contest those mid camps, but the rest of JusTus were clearing the mid wave.
Yeah, and then they started walking through haphazardly. I don't know what Fexez was thinking there. Qiwen was definitely in the right spot, right? Ares versus Isis and Bacchus. He was in the right spot.
And he found the chain, too, onto Isis.
He did, and he forced 2 abilities out to make sure that he couldn't follow the chain up. That was a really big deal, and yet nothing came of it. In fact, it was a huge negative.
Covertactician versus Zashu here in the solo lane, likely to just be a slap fight for the most part. Even gold, 400 in the lead of Zashu. Understandable, Xing 10.
I would have liked to see him space out that damage a bit more. He would have taken, but he would have been full health anyway. He's putting himself in a weird position that if he doesn't get his abilities off right away in this, he's actually pretty lucky that Wukong is still in the jungle. This way he can continue getting his passive up. He's actually going to let his passive drop here. Remember, there's an 18-second window. Abilities have to hit, and then he gains HP 5.
The HP 5 actually incredibly powerful, stacking up to 36, I think,
insane,
at max rank.
It's really high.
I mean, the amount of poke you're taking from the Wukong can be almost completely negated.
Especially considering the fact that he has Mark of the Vanguard.
Ooh, look at this. Qiwen ready again. Aero, no beads. Cherryo has his online now.
Oh, that was a little bit early.
Qiwen actually could pull here. Yeah, Cherryo's going to find that kill. Fexez, though, doing so much damage back at Cherryo. Sanjo to the air, but under tower is the rest of London Conspiracy, and he's just going to back off of there and go do some camps.
Yeah, it's a good idea. A little bit late on that ultimate. Looks like we got a timeout coming out. London Conspiracy going to use 1 of 3.
Quick pause. We'll get back into that game. But, you know, that fight looked real bad for JusTus at first, and Qiwen did die there, but Fexez doing so much damage, just dropping his ultimate on top of the circle protection. Just the burst was so much able to lock down Cherryo as well.
So far it seems pretty even to me.
I'd say so.
Zeus got his early kills, but I think most expect Zeus to be getting early kills. Detonate Chain Lightning, very hard to get away from. JusTus right now leading by a very small amount. Despite their first blood, London Conspiracy is still in a pretty good spot with gold. Let's go to the graphs. We're about 6.5 minutes in here. We'll see how things are shaping up.
Looks to be just a small lead in gold. We'll take a look at the graphs here in a second as Emilzy going to be jumping onto VoteNBK, who quickly backflips off. Neith, a pretty safe laner. Doesn't have to worry about too much. 92 gold difference, 700 experience. I mean, this game, like you said, virtually dead even. Oh, they're looking for Emilzy, though. Blinked by Qiwen. Finds one chain, finds 2. There's the beats from Emilzy, and he's going to be able to get out of there. But Cherryo's rotated as well. Sanjo with the wall, just trying to keep London Conspiracy at bay, and he does so successfully for now.
You know, that was smart, right? Qiwen jumps in, he forces the beads away. Now, in the next engagement, Bacchus is going to be a sitting duck. Remember, his ultimate does not give him CC immunity. Intoxicate is just a damage ability, although Instant Cast doesn't give him any defensive property that he's going to need to be able to fight off that no escape.
Fexez here. Already, actually, surprisingly, no actives online for God with no mobility here, and you can see Aero and Cherryo, they're looking for everything they can. Qiwen has rotated, though, so
that looked good to me.
Gonna back him off. I thought they could dive him, especially considering Qiwen's ult.
Well, I thought Qiwen hit the chain.
Oh, okay, the chain lightning?
No, the Qiwen. He's the support.
There's 2 chains in this game. They're both on the same team.
John's. Oh, chasing him. Covertactician trying to chase down Zashu.
It looked like Covertactician was actually baiting him into Sanjo there.
That might have been a misplay from Sanjo. I don't know if Covertactician has had enough time at that point to still get his passive online. You have to keep juggling that. It's the main part. Qiwen.
Oh wow,
I'll miss
Qiwen,
you.
way too deep.
I'll miss you.
Oh wow, he's still alive for some reason. Emilzy finds the last auto attack. Sanjo over the top was able to lock down one player as well, and then wall himself off, trying to keep him alive. Fexez, Chain Lightning is up, but he can't chase it. Cherryo with the dot. Wow, that was sloppy.
Wait, why is Emilzy alive?
He just ran out. Same with Qiwen. I mean, Qiwen lived for so long. He should have been bursted instantly, and then I feel like it's London Conspiracy kind of just all backed off.
This Zeus right now, I mean, that was kind of a lucky play, right? Because we're not getting a lot of Zeus play around the world yet, right? He's still an early god.
This is the first time we've seen him in the SPL.
Right, and it's absolutely a matter of, I don't know how much damage I can take from this ultimate. As a result, Emilzy didn't walk in and get the kill. I mean, he was one hit away, but he was so afraid of this Zeus ult that wound up stacking up 3 stacks anyway, that he didn't get the kill until after Qiwen had done ridiculous amounts of damage. Emilzy credited this time with a misplay.
Qiwen rotating back in, had his ultimate up, but wasn't able to find it. No one really to combo with either way, so wouldn't have mattered too much. Fexez taking a trip back to the base. He's got his pen boots finished. He's working on what looks to be a Chronos pendant. Beats one online, so the first defensive active from him.
You'll see the Emerald Talisman coming out, as well as the Steel Mail. And you know what I like about this is that when you pick a magical in the Sun Wukong, you can go Mystical Mail.
Oh yeah,
and life is just great.
That's why one of the best.
That's why
Sobek is so successful.
But I don't think Sobek is as good as Xing.
Oh, Shaggyshenk finding a kill on the VoteNBK there. It looked like a gank from Emilzy, although Emilzy didn't even have to use his ultimate. So VoteNBK a little bit poked out. Have we seen an ult from Neith? That right there.
In it.
that right there is what happens to a Zeus. London Conspiracy finding a nice pick in the dual lane and mid lane, and now they're going to turn their attention to Gold Fury. Sanjo rotating in. He's going to take to the air, but it's going to be too late. Gold Fury already gone the way of London Conspiracy. Are they looking for kills? No, this might be bad.
Wait, Covert's here. He's got 2. Decent damage from Ho Yi as well. They've overcommit here. Qiwen gonna fall. They tried for this for a while, but it's not going to work. London Conspiracy was ready for it, and a lot of that Ho Yi damage coming out. Shaggyshenk, big play.
That's twice now that Qiwen has died without his ult. The silence from, really I would say, not even silence, just the control from aero has kept him locked down in every engagement. You saw Qiwen blink in, immediately get silenced, then stun comboed, couldn't even get his ultimate off, and then JusTus as a team, though, a little bit surprising to dive into that 3v5.
So can we actually hover? Oh wait, 1 second. Let's hover on Xing here. You'll notice that he's not leveling his jump. This is something that we see a lot of players do. Is the jump actually applies 2 sets of damage, giving you the most possible.
As well as if you connect with a god, it actually gives you protections.
Exactly.
As well.
So it's strange to see him going for the 2. This is not something we see a lot.
Maybe he's expecting to get more damage off with that.
It's possible that he doesn't want to use his escape. The issue with that is, while I might agree sometimes, he already has another Guardian on his team. He needs to be a damage dealer. He needs to be in the front line. And with that, I guess by the time that he's leveled up, it's not going to really matter. He's already 13. But still.
Oh, Covertactician looking for aero here. Beads are online for him, and he's diving super deep into the tower, and beads are forced. Covertactician actually could get turned on. There's the Bacchus leap. Ultimate coming out. Qiwen's responded as well, but they're inside the ice assault. He pulls 3. Zeus over the top. I don't think it's enough damage. Zashu's rotated as well, and right now, London Conspiracy, they're so tanky. They're not falling at all, and JusTus going in 1 at a time, dying 1 at a time. VoteNBK is going to fall here as well. Spirit Ball connects.
I will miss you.
Oh, wow. It's just 1 at a time, every one of them.
Yeah, that was super sloppy, right? JusTus right now is playing pretty well, but this is the London we expected to see.
Does he have enough mana?
No, he does not. Okay. He doesn't have anywhere near enough mana. And they're going to lose maybe a tier 2 here. Hell, they could lose Fire Giant here if they're quick enough.
They should lose a tier 2 at the minimum. London Conspiracy not wanting to risk the Fire Giant for now, but that fight really just started with Covertactician ulting under a tower with 2 players that had beads up.
See, that's not even the big thing to me. It's like the Neith ult got started, and then you ulted, so that 1 set of beads is going to kill both. Like, they're not on the same page, it seems. VoteNBK is not paying attention to what Covertactician is doing, and vice versa. They're playing on 2 separate playing fields at the point, and London Conspiracy is a cohesive unit at this stage.
They're going to have to be 4 super regionals here. It was a little bit sloppy from them early, but they seem to have recovered nicely. A lot of big plays coming out really from Emilzy so far. 4, 0, and 6, been a part of almost every single kill on London Conspiracy's side here, only missing out on 1, it seems.
See, while I don't think Zashu is like the best solo laner in Europe or anything crazy like that, he's still like an incredible player. And his best god in my eyes is Sun Wukong. I can't imagine why they gave him this pick.
It really seemed like they valued that Zeus heavily. And it worked out early game. They had a lot of damage and burst potential.
You can literally pick any point in Smite's history, and Zeus early game would have been a thing. Zeus mid game and Zeus late game, on the other hand, only existed when the stun and the slows were on everything.
Left side here again coming out from Cherryo. Shaggyshenk and VoteNBK are dueling 1v1, and Cherryo, he's not even going to be needed for this maybe. Shaggyshenk looking for the ricochet.
I will
doesn't matter.
But damage over here, yeah, Emilzy likely to fall. Teleport from Zashu!
Oh, he hits the tap.
All right, he's still going in.
Zashu really doesn't have much, but with the rotation from Cherryo, they might be able to find something. The Covertactician actually finds 2. Oh my god, Cherryo walked into the ultimate. Now he's forced to beats and jump out. Is it going to be enough? He jumps back in. Shaggyshenk, Sun's over the top, locks down 1. Cherryo somehow remained alive to lock down a target as well. Big rotation from Shaggyshenk. Helps find 4 for London Conspiracy.
You know, it's funny because you said, I don't think that Zashu has blank. And the only thing in my head was Zashu, though, has Stone of Gaia. Yeah. Meaning that Zeus damage is hilarious to him at this stage with no penetration. I mean, very small penetration.
Big rotation from Shaggyshenk, though, for
like
me.
This.
That's honestly a lot of these fights in London Conspiracy's favor here in the early to mid-game transition stage have been off Shaggy's rotations.
Wow. He's watching them Allied videos right there. See that?
Maybe
you see that Allied
watched
video?
Shaggyshenk do it. You don't know.
Did you see the Allied video, though, of him showing all the bank shots around the map?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. He just showed you how to do it like every single camp.
It is not easy.
It's not.
Especially like in the middle of a fight, it is not easy to find those bank shots.
That kind of practice is what separates players on Epsilon and players on Envy from like the middle of the pack teams. Is they're willing to put in the practice that other people don't think about, like going into Conquest practice at level 20 and just practicing bank shots around the map.
It's the small things that sometimes can make the big difference. Pace of the game slowed down, however, Gold Fury going to be spawning up again. You can see a big rotation from London Conspiracy trying to get control in ward vision.
So in the beginning, I didn't think Bastet was going to be the call, but I'm very clearly wrong about that. Adonis is 5-3-9 right now, a part of 14 of 15 kills.
Zashu in the middle lane fighting 2 players. You can see VoteNBK always backflips already forced. There's Zeus, though, looking for the Chain Lightning. Going to actually keep Emilzy and Aero at bay, but VoteNBK should fall here, yeah.
Well, no, the cat's died. Rotation. Oh, and the body block. Sanjo actually winds up taking the lash in a way that it doesn't actually hit the backline as well. VoteNBK just barely able to escape here, but no mana, or rather no health and no ult. Can't really have an effect in this fight.
You can see Qiwen going to fall there, trying to rotate in, and now actually Zeus is in trouble. Good wall from Sanjo to keep Zashu at bay. It actually interrupts the cat stun as well. Sanjo having an incredible game, but it may not be enough. Zashu still diving super deep. He's so tanky. Is he going to live? No. Fexez finds 3 stacks, get the detonate off, but London Conspiracy, they're still in control of the Gold Fury area. Covertactician trying to get in, but he's going to be stunned out here.
Belly flop off the silence. Do they have enough? Double jump coming through, but no, it's going to be Shaggy getting that dive bomb. He actually got the knockback as well. Oh, and almost getting that
He almost tapped Sanjo. It was close. London Conspiracy turning their attention to Gold Fury for now.
Yeah, this should be free. Right? Like, I see Neith coming, but I mean, I don't see her
It's not getting burned. It's not half yet. It's just about
Aero
half.
Still has the ult.
here. This will, at the very least, be contested.
Aero has the ult. Like, this is guaranteed. He should just walk away from this.
Yeah, VoteNBK not able to pick up anything either. Can we take a look at the graphs now? Looks like a 3K gold lead.
Wait, did he steal that?
4K gold lead. Oh, he stole it.
Are you kidding me?
Are you seriously?
I would be... Aero deserves to die there. If you are letting a Neith Spirit Arrow kill your Gold Fury, and you don't get it with a Isis ult that's fully charged, like, I got nothing for you, man.
Did he pop it early?
I don't know.
Or did it just, like, run out of time?
But look what's happening now. Uh-oh. Zashu getting pulled. He's chained. He's stuck inside. Yeah, they used a lot on him, however.
Shaggyshenk, Sun's in place. Oh, my word. Fexez going to get bursted there by Emilzy. Sanjo took to the air, but I don't think he's going to be diving this one. London Conspiracy able to find that 1 kill. Might be enough to keep JusTus at bay. You can see JusTus deciding that they don't want to keep aggressing too far after losing Fexez.
I can't believe they dropped that goal.
That was surprising.
And then Aero like probably tilted right off that and then dies in the mid lane. Another good play coming out, but Fexez stepping out of position with that Zeus. A very unsafe character. He tries to bring too close to melee range, and as a result gets picked off.
You know, these knockups coming out from London Conspiracy are actually super effective against the Zeus. Knockups, the most powerful CC in the game. If you don't immediately beads as you are hit by them, once you're in the air, you can actually use your beads, but you're still in that control.
That's true. That's true. One of the reasons Bacchus is favored, right?
JusTus and Sanjo just going to be farming up for now. 8 levels down right now. Able to find that Gold Fury, though. Reduce the gold lead to 4K. Realistically, would have been around 7 or 8 if that had swung the other way. So keeping themselves in it. A lot of these team fights are going to rely on keeping Fexez alive and making sure that when Fexez goes all in, all of JusTus go all in. Because of London Conspiracy, if they're able to actually disengage fights, we could see a turnaround.
It's going to be a while before I think we see a team fight again, though. I'm expecting the next thing to be Fire Giant. I don't think we're going to see another Gold Fury route. Right side, Covertactician getting rotated on. No, it's going to be Bastet to back here.
You can see London Conspiracy, though, already gaining control, ward vision control on that Fire Giant, though. A lot of regular wards coming out from JusTus. There's going to be a quick pause here. We'll get back into the game shortly. Right now, though, London Conspiracy, only misplay, I'd say, was some early game fights and losing that Gold Fury.
Well, I mean, it was more than the Gold Fury, because after the Gold Fury, Aero died, they lost to Tier 1, then they lost somebody else. Granted, they did trade back Fexez, but at the same time, right, it's just like they're losing little fights here and there. They still have a lead. I'm still expecting that in the end game, it's going to be a pretty free win for London Conspiracy. The only issue is, like, Zeus is getting more damage off than I would have expected.
Can we actually, yeah, looking at the damage charge, 13,000. The next closest on JusTus is VoteNBK at 76.
And how much of that is just World Weaver, right?
Yeah, probably like 1,000.
I would say 12, 1,500.
Yeah, it's probably about there. What's its max range? What does it swing for? Like 400, 300?
420, 450. Yeah.
Oh, 490.
You're right, but mitigated.
Okay, yeah, of course.
It swings, man. Swings.
JusTus, they're grouped up here. Looks like they're rotating the left side. No wards for London Conspiracy that they're going to walk. Or actually, that ward just ended, so Qiwen might be able to find someone.
Sanjo in the back line. Qiwen moves forward, not going to find much. You notice that ward's place 10 right now for Emilzy, but it's Fexez at 9.
Because he knows, right? He's Zeus. He knows that if he gets dove, he needs to be the one that's protected all game. He needs to be in such a defensive state, I would say, at all points in the game.
Check out the build here. We got a Soul Trap coming out. Are we going to assume that that's going to be a 21-minute?
Oh, they caught Shaggy's jump. There's Beats Force. He's still going to get the jump off. Double tap coming through. Shaggyshenk should die here. VoteNBK finds that one. But there's 4 members on London Conspiracy on this right-hand side trying to dive Covertactician.
Yeah, no, he's going to get picked off. This should be a Tier 1 for Tier 1 trade. Right side Tier 1 about to fall.
Fexez
left side Tier 1 still kind of healthy.
Fexez needs to be careful not to get dove here. Tier 1 falls, and are London Conspiracy going to turn to the Fire Giant? I mean,
why not?
There's 4 members on the left-hand side.
You could see them on the map that there's 3 of them there. The only one they don't have vision on right now is Fexez, and now they do because he stood in the lane for too long. So they have complete coverage. All they know now is that Ares is missing, Zeus is missing.
Jump down from both players. Fexez rotating in. They don't have anything to control him right now. Zeus ult over the top, going to be doing a lot of damage here onto Aero. It's popped here. Who's going to be able to secure this one?
It's Isis. Isis got it for free. Vex is a little bit too quick. He's going to go down as well in the back line. They should be able to trade out the mid laner, but Qiwen's a sitting duck at this point and will be sacrificed as well.
No ultimate available. He's going to be down, but look at this. Actually, left-hand side, VoteNBK and Sanjo, they kept up the split push, and they were able to find a Phoenix. So, I mean, maybe it came down to they didn't want to fight the Fire Giant?
This could actually wind up being really good if they can hold right side. Losing the right side Tier 2 hurts. Losing the right side Phoenix is devastating. Mid Phoenix can be traded out safely, but losing a tower and the Phoenix hurts them a bit too much. The issue, we have 2 people still down. Very surprised to see them not running for it. Shaggyshenk, though, he's going to be forced to dive bomb over the wall. Sanjo, though, out of mana.
VoteNBK charging his ult, but kind of just wasting time there. He's not going to be able to do anything. If anything, there's actually been a couple members from London Conspiracy to back JusTus, though. Not going to be able to interrupt VoteNBK's back. So the gold lead, though, 2,200. With those towers and with the Phoenix, you can actually see JusTus has closed the gap on the London Conspiracy, but London Conspiracy do have that Fire Giant now and likely to be looking to push pretty hard.
So the big trips right now, you got Zashu at 19. Decent amount of damage on the board. It's going to get that Spirit Orb online for full CDR. We're going to have Cherryo going to full damage. The Transcendence Jotun's already online, as well as the Titan's Bane. And then, of course, Shaggyshenk just hitting into 20, the first one on the map. Has the Iqbal Executioner already starting into crit.
A lot of damage coming out for both these teams. Qiwen able to sneak out of there. Zashu taking a lot of damage. Oh, Fexez using that ult super early there. No one from London Conspiracy is going to even walk close to it.
That's going to hurt because now Zashu gets the back for free. Aero is taking a lot of damage, however.
He's getting dove uncontested.
Yeah, where's Zashu? He's finally back in.
The beats are down.
Only getting one, but it was the good one.
Cat's coming out. You can see the Spirit Ball through the wall. 4 members surrounding. Zashu does get his ult off. Covertactician just being ignored in the back line, diving super deep. 1 member down only so far for London Conspiracy. It was Shaggyshenk. He didn't even get his sons off. JusTus, they're in command of this one. Nice Spirit Ball to slow the pace down. Covertactician.
Oh, wow.
Chasing real deep.
You know, I think a lot of this is coming down to aero. I mean, he got caught in the last engagement at Fire Giant. He just got caught there as well. Zashu moves forward, actually winds up baiting out an ultimate, a whole bunch of damage, and utilizes the teleport properly. But then aero gets stuck out of position, doesn't get anything out of it. A free Gold Fury goes to JusTus. And remember, they already have a Phoenix online. You get the Fire Giant so that you can get Phoenixes. We'll go to the grass and we'll show you the game is evening out pretty...
Brandon, I love the new graphs. I love the new graphs you got.
Those were graphs.
They were prepared for that one. JusTus, though, have evened up this game.
Those were graphs.
They actually now take those were graphs.
Those were many graphs.
The real graph on your screen right now, 1,000 gold lead for JusTus. London Conspiracy still up in experience, but no one or most players level 20 on them. So really, it's not that big of an experience lead.
It's not at all.
Only going to be closing the gap now.
The only big difference right now, I would say, is the 2 hunters, right? The 2-level advantage. Otherwise, it's like a Xing missing 1 level of the Whirlwind, right? It's Sanjo with a level of Tectonic Rift and a level of Anvil of Dawn, right? It's not that big of a deal. JusTus evening out and taking that gold lead back is really important, especially considering they have that left side Phoenix still down. The timer on it respawning is going to be a little bit above that of the Fire Giant, so it won't be as beneficial, but it will be weakened. Meaning, if JusTus manages to get the next Fire Giant fight, this could wind up being their win.
JusTus here going to be giving up their tier 1 tower. London Conspiracy going to find 500 gold there, and you know, JusTus right now, you take a look at the damage, 17,000 coming out from Zeus. Although he wasn't the most effective in that last engagement.
And look at aero.
You can just see the poke he puts off.
Look at aero on that.
Oh, wow. 7,400?
This is what I'm talking about. I don't think this is a strength of Zeus. I think that aero's just having like an off game. I mean, even if Zeus were to be like a complete counter to Isis, which he isn't by any regard, she's 10,000 damage less than him at 25 minutes with the lowest damage in the game, right? Like, this is not something we normally see from Isis. Aero's got to shift it into gear, like, real quick.
He might have to right here. Fire Giant being surrounded by JusTus. Qiwen.
But it's got a while, right?
It looks like he's looking for a pick, though. Fire Giant spawning in 20 seconds. Sanjo not going to be able to find that stun. And you can see Emilzy quickly realizing that he has to jump away. London Conspiracy, they're not too anxious to jump in right now. They know the Fire Giant hasn't spawned. Zashu going to be counter-warded right there. Qiwen, though, finding 2 to pull. Both beads forced out.
That was an Aegis, actually.
1, yeah, from Cherryo. I like the decision considering it was only rank 1. He still has his beads online.
Exactly. Not to mention, Aegis not going to do a lot for Bastet against a Zeus, right? I mean, Zeus is just like, don't use the detonate. Big deal. NBK about to take a lot of damage here. That was a 700, 800 gold damage combo. And it continues. And they force the Heavenly.
Oh, Emilzy super deep, finds 3 with Intoxicate. You can see JusTus trying to disengage. Sanjo looking for Zashu, who's dove down. Is Zashu going to get his ult off? It looks like he will. Cherryo, cats are on Fexez. Nowhere for Fexez to go. Ultimate, not going to be enough. Cherryo finds that kill. Emilzy, 2-man jump. Stun coming out as well from the Isis Spirit Ball. And now JusTus on full retreat, but they've already lost 2.
That one, NBK completely out of position there, and it came up to Cherryo. He finds that lash, you know, getting that good declawed, and then right into the Razor Whip, doing a ridiculous amount of damage. At that point, he had to run away, and NBK got chased, and no one, for some reason, covered him. He took so much, and yet he does manage to get out, but they lose all of their magic damage in the process.
Covertactician just kind of walks in a 5 there. 1 more hit. Cherryo finds that kill. London Conspiracy, they find the Phoenix, and this has really kind of been the story. Every time JusTus seem to get everything together, they just start going on different paths, right? Just the communication breaks down. Covertactician just walked into 5 players and died.
Let's take a look at Isis right now. I want to see when... Oh, never mind. The ult is already back up. meaning they have a great amount of pressure here. Emilzy choosing not to go for the tank. I don't know why he just brought the fire into his team.
Look at Sanjo, though.
Emilzy could die here.
Who's he going to go for?
I think he's going to go right in the middle. Did Cherryo just die? Oh, no. Cherryo just walked through a whole bunch of lava pools, basically killing himself. London Conspiracy could wind up throwing this.
Even if they get Fire Giant, they're going to get turned on. You can see Sanjo already finding arrows. Emilzy trying to jump away. Shaggyshenk.
Hey, get over here.
Come back here. One more hit. That's going to be it. And now 3 members dead for London Conspiracy. Are they going to be able to find Emilzy? Oh, yeah, they know where he's at.
Emilzy's in trouble here.
He's done.
He knows. Yeah, I mean, there's no and there's not even a reason for them to be walking away from this. But I think they're going to try to go for the win. It would have been worth their time to take Emilzy down.
I think so as well. I mean, still, there's going to be people spawning in 20 seconds. They're going all in, though. I'm real surprised they didn't stop Emilzy. That could be
we see Zeus,
the thing that throws it for them.
Want to check in. Let's ride in with Zeus. I want to see with that ultimate's up. I want to see how long he has for his control. They got one. The left side Phoenix is already weakened.
Oh, they're just going straight for Phoenixes, knowing that it looks like London Conspiracy doesn't want to contest at all.
Spirit Robe has been wasted. Sanjo to the sky. We got some respawns here. Cherryo's alive. Arrows come up in 3.
Fexez getting dove. Zashu, his ultimate, it's down. But it's going to be Emilzy finding 2 knocked up. Fexez just trying to get away. Sanjo as well. Heavenly popped, and you can see all of JusTus trying to retreat.
There's the ultimate is back up. He'll get a small amount of damage. The detonate comes off as well. Covertactician needs the sack here. He should be running in the other direction at this point.
He actually might be able to get away. He's pretty tanky. Cherryo going to chase him down here.
He doesn't have his passive stacked at all.
Sanjo, it looks like Sanjo's been trying to play Protect for his team, but he could get caught. There's the hammer out. Gold Fury is up. London Conspiracy, they're looking for Sanjo, though.
You know, had they taken the time to kill Emilzy, they still would have got that mid-Phoenix. Left side probably wouldn't have been taken as it wasn't there, but I doubt they would have lost anyone for it. It was Emilzy in the front line that really kept things safe for London Conspiracy. They have a chance to try to answer back here. We'll go to the graphs again and show you the gold has evened out. It's going to be slightly in favor now of London Conspiracy to the tune of about 2,000.
The experience difference playing a small factor. VoteNBK and Fexez both only looking for their last level. You can see VoteNBK just a few creeps away from that. London Conspiracy, they're pressuring down this mid-Phoenix. There's fire creeps pouring, or that they're fighting against, though, and also a Zeus. This could be pretty dangerous. Blink in by Qiwen, finds 4.
Won't find much in terms of pulls, and Emilzy, while taking some damage, will get it all healed back up by that circle of protection. Isis using it beautifully all the while. Left side, Cherryo taking down the Phoenix with the help of his cats. They're going to get a small win. They're trading Phoenix for Phoenix across the map, and London Conspiracy keeps it alive.
And I like what London Conspiracy did there. You can see they grouped up for the mid lane, but it wasn't necessarily to fight or force anything. It was just to open up the space for Cherryo to find that Phoenix on the left.
Gold Fury going to be taken. London Conspiracy finding everything that they can at this point. This will increase the gold lead by another 1,750. Remember, add the 750 from the Phoenix as well. So they're starting to shape up a better gold lead. They're about 4,300 gold at this point in the lead, which is somewhat negligible. They have 2 members with Fire Giant, likely to be holding this off as long as possible. They're going to want to push down the mid lane. It's actually great that the only Phoenix available right now for JusTus is the mid-Phoenix, because for London Conspiracy, they get to push the one objective they need while controlling the one objective they lost. That's brilliant.
For them, though, 4-man group up here on the right-hand side. Fire minions are pouring in on the left. It looks like JusTus, they're trying to force a fight. They're going to take the tier 1 tower. Zashu rotating in. London Conspiracy doesn't look like they want to fight it, though. You could actually see a bat coming out from Cherryo, and Shaggyshenk just coming off a spawn.
Fexez, first blood of the game, just hit level 20 right now.
You know, he's been playing so defensive, spending so much gold on wards alone. Can we actually take a look at wards here? Actually, the chase could come out. Zashu could catch Qiwen. Nice wall,
but not close enough.
Sanjo's walls have been on point so far.
That was a Heavenly Agility wasted.
Zashu not going to be able to stop their backs, and
that's a win for London.
JusTus going to be back. Yep, they're going to be backing off here. Fire Giant not spawning for 57 seconds, though.
Mid lane, you got 2 waves of fire minions coming down. You see Aero backing to deal with that.
Fexez needs to get Rod online. You can really see London Conspiracy, just the damage they're taking is not enough to warrant the Zeus pick at this point. The ultimate was stacked, it was thrown out, and still, once an arrow's ult, Fexez just not doing enough damage to burst anyone.
And there needs to be some level of defense in the build. He's went 100% damage, Adonis.
He's going to be backing here. Fire Giant spawning in 20 seconds. Fire minions were pushed up on the left-hand side. Mid Phoenix for London Conspiracy has respawned. Right Phoenix for JusTus has respawned. So Fire minions only pouring right now on that left-hand side.
Oh, look at that damage. I did not expect him to swing that hard. Then again, he's went almost full damage. Actually, no, yeah, pretty much full damage as well, aside from the eventual wing blade.
Making sure he doesn't get slowed and locked down. Shaggyshenk taking a lot of poke from Sanjo in the side. Jump in by Cherryo. He's looking for Fexez once again. Look at that damage Fexez. It's going to be hard for him to get back into this fight. Qiwen finding 3. Only pulling 1 though. Zeus ult not going to be doing enough. Emilzy just diving the back, left alone.
This is what Zeus needs to do. Stay in the back, let the supports peel for him as much as possible, and let them get baited. This has been a really good fight so far for JusTus. They've only lost Sanjo. They traded out for Cherryo, and their health bars, aside from Covertactician, are standing strong. But Fexez has got to get in there and start getting the big chain lightnings, just like that one. Where's the
the Aegis.
The detonate.
The Aegis from Aero kept him alive there. VoteNBK charging his ultimate. Doesn't look like he wants to use it. Qiwen, chains are up, but not enough. But look at the Titan. I mean, it's lost so much health from those fire minions pouring in. The Phoenix is about to respawn, but 2 members from JusTus are going to have to defend that. VoteNBK, he's caught. 1 more hit. Shaggyshenk finds that kill. Qiwen being chased down. Fexez, you can see him rotating. He's trying to get to his team. Maybe he could find a big chain lightning. That's what he's looking for. Oh, Shaggyshenk only stacking twice, lives with 1 health.
See, this is what I'm talking about Shaggy,
damage.
though, because that wasn't just the fact that he lived with 1 health. He didn't miss a single auto attack right
Shaggy.
there. He hit every single one. Not only did they get the kill specifically because Shaggy is an accuracy god, but remember, the small amount of lifesteal that he was gaining because of the Vitalis letting him chase down and the fact that he has those death gloves kept him alive through the damage of Fexez. 1 auto attack missing might have been his death. What a beast.
Left Phoenix has respawn for now. Right now. This is a back and forth game. London Conspiracy, they're leading in gold, 4,400. A little bit negligible for the most part this late into the game. They're leading in kills, but the control has been on both sides. Only 1 tower remains. Almost every Phoenix in the game has been taken once outside of that right-hand side. Fire Giant, it's going to be falling in favor of London Conspiracy. JusTus, they're going to have to hold here.
Man, I mean, it's just been a back-and-forth ride so far, but London now has the opportunity to close it out. They have all 5 members with Fire Giant. Shaggy is full build at this point with Vitalis. I mean, they're in a really good spot to end this one, and a lot of that's going to rely on Cherryo. How well he can get to the back line and force them away from that Zeus, or force them to the Zeus, so maybe someone like Aero can get a pick onto VoteNBK. They have to take a carry, force the supports to that carry, and then pick off the other one.
You can see London Conspiracy a little bit wary of diving into this right-hand side. All these Phoenixes are weakened. They only have half the life they typically do. This is going to be an important fight. They're going to London Conspiracy are going to have to lock down Fexez in this engagement. And like you said, I'm really looking at Cherryo to dive that back line and force Zeus out. London Conspiracy, look at them. They're backing up, though. They do not want to risk anything at all.
Cherryo's looking.
Are they looking for the split push?
Ooh, he's backing. Does he have teleport? No, everybody's just taking a minute, I guess. I mean, they still have, what, 2 minutes, 50 seconds on this Fire Giant? That's more than enough time.
Here's the thing. The question is, does London Conspiracy even want to siege? I feel like they just want to fight in lane or the jungle. I don't think they want to siege into this Phoenix against Zeus. That really seems to be what it is. You know, Xing, Tian, and Ares as well, there's a lot of control and burst damage on JusTus's side if they can get it off.
36 minutes in. London Conspiracy should be looking to close this one out. Gold Fury is up. They don't really need this. I would like to see them avoid this and just try to rush the Phoenixes down. No, they're going to go for it. This is kind of a waste of their Fire Giant, though.
I mean, only Aero's looking to complete his build, and Emilzy, of course, as well, but he's not priority.
It looks like they're going to go for the left side of Phoenix here. Now, Cherryo will be walking over a sentry ward here. It seems he notices. He'll place his own down, spot it out, clear it up. Left side, it's going to be a 4-man
here. Cherryo looking for the split push, but Sanjo not going to allow him to do that. Double tap doesn't connect.
Not a large amount of damage. The wing blade also going to keep it pretty healthy. Qiwen going in, going to find 3. Wasted ult by Shaggy. Decent damage on the Qiwen. We got to see if Zeus has this one.
Sanjo in the air. Zashu somehow survives. Arrows all going to be placed on the ground. Zashu escaping death barely. Sanjo coming, crashing down a little bit late there. So far, 0 members dead from both sides, but ultimates used across the board. Only 2 remain. Xing ult is up. That's important. Most speeds are actually down for a lot of Conspiracy. Covertactician, though, doesn't even get it off. He's the one that was going to be needed to turn that. VoteNBK finds Zashu in response. Both soul laners down.
Wow.
Phoenix down. Emilzy finding a bounce onto Sanjo. Shaggyshenk diving so deep. Crits are coming out. Fexez falls. Sanjo falls as well. Shaggy finds a double, and
Shaggy
this likely
miss.
to be game.
Shaggy won't miss. I mean, the guy just keeps going, even at low health, and they're diving into the fountain at this point. That'll be a small chunk of health from Sanjo, or rather Cherryo forced to jump away. It's going to be a 1-for-4 as VoteNBK is doomed to watch his Titan fall.
Nothing he can do here. Spirit Ball gonna miss, but that win going the way of London Conspiracy, albeit a very sloppy win at that.
Yeah, not a clean win. And London Conspiracy really needs 2 clean wins here, in my opinion, to go into LAN with a healthy mindset. They don't want...
If that London Conspiracy was at LAN, they would be out in 3 games. I don't care who their opponent was.
I agree.
Dignitas would beat them, Titan would beat them,
hey,
and
wait,
the top 3
You can't
would.
say Dignitas, because Dignitas might not be there.
You're right, you're right. Excuse me.
The French boys might be able to still make that LAN.
That's true, they could. But that team likely could have lost to Myrmidons as well. London Conspiracy do find the win there. That last engagement, though, from JusTus, Covertactician actually held his ultimate somehow that late into the team fight. And all the beads were down from London Conspiracy, but he still couldn't get it off.
I mean, Cherryo did so much damage in that game. I mean, the way that he dove the back line and then just got out immediately just to bait people towards the Zeus, allowing Shaggy to not be the focus, was primarily the reason that London Conspiracy was winning those major engagements. Every time Zeus and VoteNBK were able to do what they were supposed to do, they were doing fine. But the Double Guardian, they were both protecting one player. And I think that was the big issue. JusTus, if they're gonna run, they have to have one person here, you know, someone in the front line, someone in the back line. They have to be doing different things. They're grouping up too much, they're hand-holding too much, and too much damage is hitting in the same area.
How did you feel about the Zeus pick, though?
I don't like it.
Just didn't work?
I just don't like it. I mean, he's too unsafe in the end game. Unless you're way ahead and early, he just doesn't seem useful.
You were talking about Cherryo, though, on that Bastet, doing so much work. You can see Alpha Draft top performers. He's sitting up there. Emilzy finding his way there as well, and it seems like it's outside of Sanjo, it's all London Conspiracy.
10, 5, and 14 was Cherryo that game.
Wow.
Big shoes in my eyes to fill for Shaggyshenk, but he's doing it pretty well.
Let's take a quick look at First Blood. I believe it went the way of Zeus, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this was actually...
Well, this was Sanjo. Right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
this was this play.
That he dodges the Spirit Ball with the stun, does all the damage, and then like just 2 auto attacks and then gets it off, and then actually good amount of damage there at the end as well onto Bastet.
Emilzy, though, player of the game, doing a lot of work alongside Cherryo, finding so many double bounces. You can see 6-1 and 18 as a Guardian.
What is that score? Like, how did he manage that?
He found 6 kills and only 1 death.
because he's meat sticking people to death.
Oh, yeah. Remember the fight in mid-cams? I actually want to watch this, right? I hope we get to see that played because I believe it's the one after this. Emilzy, though, doing so much work. You see him finding a double kill there.
Report Zashu for kill steal.
It doesn't look like we're going to be able to see that one, though.
See, this was a really strong play because he's making Fexez fight in a little bit earlier than he would have liked to. The detonate goes off way too soon. They get it, and then he immediately turns around, finds just 2 perfect hits, and then immediately rushes over to make sure Qiwen dies as well.
He was repeatedly diving Fexez every engagement and getting away with it, too.
I mean, it's Bacchus, right? He's super, super tanky.
Good job from Emilzy and all of London Conspiracy, though, finding that win. We talked about it a little bit sloppy. Heading into Game 2, I want to see a much cleaner victory from them. They really need to have a clean head and a clean slate moving forward into the Super Regionals.